All right, guys, welcome back to TD Fans Talk. Today, we're going to dive into what we actually do know about the Miami Dolphins at this point of preseason, right after Game 3 versus the Ravens, okay? There's a lot of information to go over. We're going to break down almost every single position, and we're going to talk about what we know instead of all the questions that we have, okay? What we can bank on to figure out basically where we are as the team right now, okay? And we're going to pretty much start with none other. What I'm doing, I'm pulling up my depth chart and everything. We're going to start with none other than Ryan Tannehill himself in the quarterback position. Right now, before I even talk about Ryan Tannehill, right now there's a fierce battle going on between David Fales and Brock Osweiler. Bryce Petty, see, I was high on Bryce Petty. I had him in that conversation. But to be honest with you, the Dolphins Nation right now, it's a lot of reports coming out that pretty much this last preseason game is up to David Fales or Brock Osweiler. Whoever wins the battle this Thursday will win the second string quarterback position, okay? I really don't like that because the way it makes it seem is as if Bryce Petty is not even in contention anymore. I hope that's not the case, but we have to see if he's even going to play this fourth preseason game. If he doesn't play this fourth preseason game, I'm pretty confident we can go ahead and say bye to Bryce Petty for sure, okay? But other news in quarterback news other than Ryan Tannehill, a lot of reports out that the Miami Dolphins should pick up Teddy Bridgewater out of not free agency, but from the Jets. They do have that asset. They said that the Dolphins and the Jaguars are the favorite to land Teddy Bridgewater. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, that would be a great solid backup, Let me tell you why I don't like it, okay? I don't like picking up Teddy Bridgewater. Now, I like it from a sense of giving us an inside scoop on the Jets, but I don't like it because Tannehill already has so many haters that all this is going to do is fuel them to create controversy, which is in return going to have the media talking that much more worse about Tannehill. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't come out at some point saying they should start Bridgewater over Tannehill. And I think I would completely lose it at that point. But that's why I pretty much doesn't like it, because even if you look at the Patriots in the most recent years, they've had some rough patches in the regular season, but they were able to overcome them and you know, finish strong down the stretch. Almost all of the last few seasons, the Patriots have had some rough patches at some point or another in the regular season. Bringing in a Teddy Bridgewater with Miami, if we were to have one of those same rough patches, they're not going to give us the benefit of the doubt like they're going to give the Patriots and saying that they'll figure it out. They'll be calling for Ryan Tannehill's head, saying that they need to play Teddy Bridgewater, and we're back to the Miami Dolphin drama days, guys. I don't like it. I leave Tannehill on the roster, pick one of these guys, because the reality is, if Tannehill isn't behind center, we're not winning a Super Bowl anyway, okay? Teddy Bridgewater is not going to bring us a Super Bowl, all right? He may be effective in a good replacement, but he is not bringing us a Super Bowl. So we're putting all our eggs in a bucket, guys, and we're going with Tannehill. That's why I don't like the whole Teddy Bridgewater thing. It gives the media more to just bring drama Miami's way, and they would love that more than anyone. And I would, like I said, I would flip. I would just go crazy. The first report I hear that Bridgewater needs to start over Tannehill, it would just drive me. Anyway, all right, so that's where I am on the backup quarterback situation. But what we know about our starting quarterback, okay? Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill has been money all 3 games of preseason. He has, I don't think there was a game where he had more than 4 incomplete passes. Ryan Tannehill has to have over a 75% pass completion percentage probably out of the preseason so far, guys. He's been lighting it up. Excuse me. He's been on the money. He's been lighting it up all across the field, guys. Excuse me. I take a sip of my Dolphins water. But he's been lighting it up, guys. Tannehill finally found his way in the end zone with Danny Amendola last week versus the Ravens on a nice drive where it started with a nice run from Kenyon Drake. and Tannehill took it about 4 more passes down the field into the touchdown with Amendola. One thing I've been vocal about, if you put Tannehill in the shotgun, we're money. We can move that ball down the field. They just cannot stop us. I think we need to be more of a run-present team in the red zone. And then maybe second down, hit them with the tight end to the end zone or something like that, guys. But our starting quarterback, I don't think we're going into the season worried anymore. Everybody's worried about, hey, how is he going to look after this injury? Does he have rhythm, X, Y, and Z? He answered that the first game. But since we didn't have the many reps, we were like, well, we want to see how they do in the second game. He answered it in the second game as well. One moment, phone call. Hung up. But they hung up. So, but he answered those questions, guys, in the second game as well. And then it was like, okay, third game, it will really tell us because they play half the game. That's real game time situation. He just put the stamp, said, I am the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. I am ready to take us to a Super Bowl, guys. If you looked at Tannehill, he looked great. He did have a moment early in the game where he kept fumbling the ball like he would hike it and it would fall. But those are little dumb errors. Those are quick little easy fixers, guys. You know, something that's not going to happen on a regular basis. But those two series where they did happen did put us behind quite a bit and made us stall early on. But when Tannehill didn't have stalls, we really moved that ball and we got down the field. So we're ready at the quarterback position. All questions have been answered. If you still got questions about it, you're just a hater. That's just the reality, okay? Reading the article this morning, Tannehill really hasn't proven anything. Well, he's never had an offensive line to prove anything. And then at his best, when they do protect him, he has the 3rd highest passer rating in the NFL when he's protected, when he's not touched. Behind Matt Ryan, number 1, Tom Brady, number 2. There lies Ryan Tannehill, number 3. Highest passer rating in the NFL when he's not being touched. And that's testament to the 184 times he was sacked in his first 4 seasons in the NFL, which was second all-time, guys. You can't ignore the stats. You want to make an excuse about a quarterback and get on him, you got to look at all the stats to get a real picture and stop going off of just how you feel, okay? And a lot of it is hate. But at the quarterback position, we're good, guys. I don't want you all to have any concern. We have what we need at the quarterback position. Moving along to the running back position, guys. I'm beyond excited. Now, on the depth chart, we're supposed to have co-starters, but this time they put Kenyon Drake at the top. They put Frank Gore at number 2. Kenyon Drake has showed up and showed out in preseason. Let's just call it what it is. Frank Gore hasn't. No fault to his. The coaches won't let him play, okay? But I think what they've decided at this point, we know Kenyon Drake is the future. We know Frank Gore is a beast that is still producing. But we're going to go our starter, Kenyon Drake. He's going to get primarily the bulk of the carries. I think it's going to be more of a 60-40 split, if you were to ask me. Kenyon Drake gets 60% of the carries. Frank Gore's getting the other 40. Basically sparing him to extend his career. I keep saying this. Some people are saying, no, this is his last year. I think Frank Gore has one more year after this too, guys. This isn't Frank Gore's last year. This is my opinion now. Only Frank Gore knows that, but this isn't his last year. I think Miami is positioning themselves to make this a 2-year ordeal where Kenyon Drake gets majority of the snap and they're reserving Frank Gore to be a 2-year back by giving him 40% of the carries. Versus trying to throw him in and give him 60 or 70 and make him a 1-year back and he's done. You know? So that's my theory on the whole thing. That's my theory on the running back situation, where we are with that. And I like it. I like it to have Kenyon Drake, the up-and-coming star, getting 70% of the carries. Not only that, he's deadly out of the backfield catching the ball. And Frank Gore coming in doing the cleanup work and doing it at a heavy load. 40% is still a heavy load, guys. I love what we have in that situation right now. But we have a slew of third-string running backs. Kalen Ballage, who is number 3 on the depth chart. And I think well-deserved. And hopefully we go... Yeah, I mean, we should keep 3 backs, and hopefully Kalen Ballage is in that. Sonoris Perry is probably going to be practice squad. Buddy Howell, practice squad. Jeremy Langford, I've been one that's kept saying it's Gase's guy. It's Gase's guy. Gase didn't bring him in for nothing. He's going to be that number 3 back. But right now, he's actually listed 7th on the depth chart. I mean, 6th on the depth chart. Only ahead of Brandon Radcliffe. So it looks like a lot of those guys, Brandon Radcliffe, Jeremy Langford, Buddy Howell, they're going to be practice squad. Sonoris Perry probably would too. I don't think they're going 4 backs, guys. Let's just call it what it is. But we can move along on the running backs. I'm excited about that. So quarterback and running back position, we're built to what we need for a Super Bowl run, guys, in my opinion. All right, wide receivers. This is where it gets a little tricky. They still got Devontae Parker as the number 1 wide receiver starting despite the injury. I don't know when he's going to be back, what reports we have on that. I'll get an update on that later. Hopefully it's good, but he is right now with his finger injury. He's questionable for week 1, but they still have him number 1 on the depth chart. Kenny Stills number 2. We know those 2 will solidify those outside positions. In the event that Devontae Parker doesn't play, I believe that's where Albert Wilson steps up and he takes that outside receiver position. Danny Amendola is 3rd on the depth chart, but we're going to run 3 receivers quite a bit. So Danny Amendola is somewhat kind of a starter anyway. But then you have Albert Wilson 4th on the depth chart. Unless Devontae Parker isn't there, I think he might fill that role. Jakeem Grant is listed 5th, guys. Jakeem Grant has been balling out. He's questionable for week 1 versus Tennessee as well, only because he's in a concussion protocol now. I hated that in the game. You know, he really got hit hard. It shook him up. He got up on his own 2 feet, and I think he did come back in the game, but he's still concussion protocol. So it's something to watch. We know his talent, his ability. I want to see him on that field. That's important, guys. Next in line, this is where it gets a little dicey. Behind Jakeem Grant, because that's 5 receivers with Jakeem Grant. Will the Dolphins keep 6? I don't know. Will they keep 7? I don't know. But I do know that right behind Jakeem Grant is Isaiah Ford, the up-and-coming receiver that we all love. I would love to see him make this roster of 53. We actually won't know until after this 4th preseason game. It'll be exciting to see him make it, but time will tell, guys. So that's going to be something for us to keep our eyes out on. Leonte Carew just falling, guys. I don't think he's going to make the 53, guys. With the injuries, coupled with some other things, it's going to be tough. Rashawn Scott, Drew Morgan, Francis Owusu. Owusu has made the biggest dive. So these guys are pretty much going to be reserved to practice squad, if not cut. Also, Malcolm Lewis on the roster as well. But at the wide receiver position, at least the best thing is that we do have depth. We're in a good position right now. But my most exciting position is the tight end position. I don't know why. The Miami Dolphins, the entire preseason and offseason, did not have this man ranked as a starter on the depth chart. And finally, they make that change. They put Mike Gesicki as the starter for the regular season. They finally moved him up as number 1 on the depth chart. He finally found some light. Catching the ball in the 3rd preseason game, which was a beauty. It was a I think 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Y'all correct me. Let me know what it was. But we had to get to 1 yard. They lined him out single man coverage out to the left. The defenses already know his talent. They already know. Okay. They lined him out wide. They didn't put him at the tight end position. They lined him outside by himself, 1-on-1. Okay. And you could tell the defender was concerned. This guy has leap ability, so I got to play back. I don't want him to get a step and we stride for stride. So let me back up. And what did he do? He hit him with like an 8-yard in route. Money. About 6-foot separation. And picked up a few yards and got the first down. It was a beauty, guys. This is going to be a huge threat for us, guys. Mike Gesicki taking that number 1 tight end position with Marquise Gray as the 2nd string. Now, Durham, A.J. Derby, Gavin, and Thomas, they're all behind him. Guys, it's just one of those questions. How is the Dolphins going to play it? What's their depth going to be like? Are they going to run 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends? I don't know. Who knows? We don't know what they're going to keep on the roster. But we do know Mike Gesicki is starting, and that is my concern, okay? So that's always a plus. Now, I had to sip before I got into this offensive line because I am so proud of them, guys. The offensive line, I am proud, okay? I think our offensive line is an 80% offensive line. And majority of the league is a 50% offensive line. Okay? But let me repeat that. Majority of the league has a 50% offensive line. And when I'm giving percentages, I'm giving a percent of legitness, okay? And if you don't know what legitness is, I don't even know if it's a word, but you understand. Legitness. All right. So that means you got 5 people on the offensive line. 50% offensive line means 2.5 of them are legit. So 2 of them are legit, and then you got, you know, between the culmination of the other 3, okay, we'll give them a 10%. You know, we're doing ranges, all right? The Dolphins have an 80%, you know? And here's why, okay? Laremy Tunsil at left tackle has looked good during preseason. Again, nobody's going to be perfect. I've seen a mistake here or there, but the overall body of work that Laremy Tunsil has put in preseason is a beauty, okay? He's at his natural position, left tackle. Some people say he needs to move back to guard. No, he does not. His natural position is left tackle. He was doing us a favor by playing guard, okay? Because we had Albert Wilson at left tackle, all right? He is at his natural position, and all he can do is get better and better in a better feel of the NFL. Remember, he's only had like 1 season of that left tackle position. That was last year. So his second year coming in his natural position, it's already showing the improvement. He's been holding his own. I've only seen him get beat like 1 time. All right? And when I say get beat, it wasn't even get beat. It was like he kind of held the man or whatever. It was just unnecessary. All right? Left guard. The second biggest thing that I love about our offensive line, okay? Josh Sitton came in from Chicago. He is solidifying that position, guys. He is doing his job. Josh Sitton, he gets his full 20% of that line, okay? Out of 100%, out of 1 out of 5, he gets his full 20%. He's doing his job. He's doing it well. From my understanding, there's reports that the offensive line had a lot of camaraderie in the offseason, which helped build their trust and working together. They spent time just like, you know, quarterbacks spend with receivers, which Tannehill did do this year because I guess he got receivers he likes now. You know, no shot to Jarvis. All right, but the offensive line did the same thing, and that camaraderie is paying off because they're in sync, guys. Josh Sitton and Laremy Tunsil holding down that left side beautifully. And the most beautiful part, moving over 1 space at center, Daniel Kilgore has been the beast, okay? He has held down that center position. He has played beyond well. And that whole left side is just a thing of beauty, okay? And coming right into the middle. Now, our biggest concern on the offensive line is our right guard. You got Jesse Davis in his 2nd year in the NFL. He's poised to take that starting position. But if I was to give him, you know, some numbers on there, I'm not giving him the full 20 at all. That's where we kind of, I've seen him get beat a few times. You know, I have NFL Game Pass. I watch the replays of the game. I try to study what I can. He got beat a few times. He missed a few assignments. He didn't, you know, and he's not looking bad or terrible. I've seen a lot of plays where he held his own. But that consistency from an old offensive line, that's where they're going to need the most growth, and that's with Jesse Davis. He's going to have to step up this year to have, if we want the best top 5 offensive lines in the NFL, Jesse Davis is going to have to be that X factor, guys, because that's where we aren't as solidified. I'm not knocking the man because he's doing a good job. But whenever you say, hey, look at our line, Jesse Davis is one who is like, oh, our line is doing well. But, you know, Laremy Tunsil, John Sitton, Daniel Kilgore, look at our line, you know. But Juwan James in and out at right tackle. We all know Juwan James' talent. He's holding it down. He's doing his thing as well, guys. Just like Tunsil, Sitton, and Kilgore. So overall, I know I said 80% offensive line. Let me say 85, really, you know, because it's not like Jesse Davis doesn't get any points. Plus, you know, Juwan James is probably like a 18 the way he's been playing, or what I've been looking at. Laremy Tunsil around at 18 too, and Josh Sitton around at, well, Daniel Kilgore at 20, guys, and Sitton at 20 as well. But that's my breakdown as far as the offensive line. But going in, let me give you a comparison, okay? Our average offensive line over the last 5 years, 6 years, or whatever, if I'm giving this offensive line an 85, I'm giving our pass offensive line like a 33, 35. Guys, do you see the improvement of what I'm trying to say here, guys? We got the quarterback we need. All right, we got the offensive line to protect him. Number 3 passer rating in the NFL when kept clean. All right, look at the first 3 preseason games. Clean as a whistle, guys. He's been kept clean. Okay? Tannehill has looked great because he's had the time. And that's what it's about. And the receivers are going to have field days because athletically we have matchups that can't be competed with, okay? They just can't. Running back position is just going to open everything up, guys. So it's just a beauty, man. Our offense, guys, you got to be excited, okay? Now, when it comes to defense, there's a lot to discuss here, okay? I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can. But there's a lot to discuss, and let me go through some of the givens real quick, okay? All right, so left defensive end, okay? Sorry, excuse me. Left defensive tackle and right defensive tackle. I'm just going to go ahead and give them to you. Davin Godchaux and Akeem Spence, they're locking down those positions. Guys, they look good. If people are wondering if they look great, I'm not going to say great yet, but they look good as a replacement for Sue and what we had before. They look good, guys, and they're backed up by Jordan Phillips and Vincent Taylor. We have depth. We have a 4-man rotation. So, like, let's say Sue was rated a 9.5 on a scale of 10, okay, with Miami. And in my opinion, he was rated about an 8 with Miami because, no, let me stop. 8.5 I'll give him, okay? He was still great. Anything over an 8 to me is great, all right, at a position. We have 4 guys that, in my opinion, are about 7.5s. Well, let me say 2 7.5s and 2 7s. And that's beautiful for us, okay? That's solid. It doesn't have to be great. That is solid, and that's what you need. Not only do you have solid, but you have solid with depth. Okay? That's a beauty for us, okay? So I don't want people to get concerned about runs up the middle, this and that, and this. Listen, we're gonna be fine in them tackle positions, okay? All right, now moving on to defensive end, we all already know Cameron Wake holding down on the left side, Robert Quinn holding down the right side. If you watch these games, guys, I don't need to talk much about these guys. These guys have been beasting. Man, Cameron Wake has been, in my opinion, rated about a 9.5, and Robert Quinn has been an 11. Let's just call it what it is. These guys are going to be nasty this year. And we know Cameron Wake doesn't play every snap because they're preserving him, like I talked about with Gore earlier, trying to extend his career and be effective at it. William Hayes is coming in doing his thing on that side too. All right? It's a thing. He's in the second spot right now, but now he does have a hamstring injury right now, William Hayes, so he is questionable week 1 versus Tennessee, but that's just more reps for Cameron Wake. Not to mention the other depth that we have, but we don't know if we're going to keep him on the team. Andre Branch, Jonathan Woodard, and Kendall Langford, okay? It just depends on who makes the team, guys. But Robert Quinn's going to play some snaps. They're not preserving him like they're doing Cam Wake, okay? Robert Quinn's probably going to be a 70%er. And Charles Harris backs him up. Guys, we have depth on that D-line that you got to be happy about. You got to be proud of, okay? We're good. I'm not even going to get into it anymore. We are good on the D-line. You should be happy about the D-line that we have, okay? I don't care what nobody says. You're going to see the evidence this year, all right? Now, moving along to linebacker, okay? Middle linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. Strong side linebacker, Jerome Baker. And weak side linebacker, Kiko Alonso. We already know Kiko Alonso is going to hold his position down if we can keep him on the right sideline. That was funny. He went to the wrong sideline last week. I know y'all already know about it. But he's going to have his position. Kiko got his, okay? Back up, he got Mike Lowell, but he has an MCL, and he's questionable in week 1. But Kiko's going to play a majority of the snaps, guys. Jerome Baker came on strong this preseason. He has come on very strong this preseason, guys. He was they went ahead, they wasted no time and inserted this kid into the starting lineup, okay? And that's huge, okay? And here's why. He's a rookie stepping up, just like Gesicki. They're taking starting roles and they're not looking back. They're contributing. That's why we got it right in the draft, guys. We got it right. He's taking that starting position, guys. And he's looked really good. He's been meeting the runner at the ball, guys. He's been, if he keeps playing the way he's playing, we're going to be good. They just have to improve fitting those gaps on those run plays. But I think as time goes, these young cats, they're going to be, because they're selfless. They know that it's going to hurt to hit that hole going up against one of those linemen, but they're plugging it. And that's what it's about, guys, and I love it. Raekwon McMillan coming back from not playing. He's looked good. He's backed up by Chase Allen. I think our linebackers are going to be very, very, very good, guys. Here's my issue. And this is a good segue into the secondary. Because the linebackers and secondary goes hand in hand. We paid Bobby McCain. Excuse me. We paid. Let me see. Make sure that's the right starting role. I just got to make sure it's Bobby. We paid Bobby McCain great money to start at the nickel cornerback. Okay. But Bobby's been playing left cornerback the entire time. Here's what's weird that people don't realize. A lot of people don't even know this. A nickel cornerback is a linebacker, an outside linebacker. And an outside linebacker is a nickel cornerback, depending. Because you only, if you're running a 4-3, you only have a nickel if the offense has two wide receivers flanked out. That's when you run a 4-3 with 3 linebackers. But the nickel comes into play when you have 3 receivers and one of them slot, obviously. That's where the nickel comes in. What I don't like is, right now they've been running Minka in the nickel here and there. But it gets tricky because if Minka's on the field, let me help you understand what I'm trying to say here. If Minka's on the field and they only run 2 receivers, one on the outside, one on the outside, then Minka is going down to a linebacker position. He's the 3rd linebacker. That's how it works, guys. And if they have 3 receivers on the field, then he plays his nickel. So a nickel just takes away from the linebacking core. So anytime you have 3 receivers, you only have 2 linebackers now. One of those linebackers have to go in the nickel. So it makes me wonder the way things have been going. We got a middle linebacker in Raekwon McMillan, strong side linebacker Jerome Baker, and weak side linebacker Kiko Alonso. Are we ever going to have all 3 of them on the field? Because if all 3 of them are on the field, that means Minka's not on the field. Because Bobby McCain is at left corner, Xavier Howard is at right corner, Rashad Jones is at strong safety, and TJ McDonald is at free safety. So that's what's getting to me, you know. And then on top of it, here's what's even more tricky about it. If Minka's on the field, that means one of those linebackers isn't on the field. And if it's a running play, Minka's going to be that outside linebacker. I guess the linebacker position, somebody may not start. Minka's going to assume that if Minka starts, which he should, man, come on, Gates, get it right. Minka needs to start. Then Minka's going to be playing a role of an outside linebacker slash nickel. Because that's what it is. It's an outside linebacker slash nickel. Just depends on the offensive breakdown. If they run 3 receivers, I'm a nickel. If they run 2 receivers, I'm a linebacker. Because you can't, once you see the formation, you can't sub at that point. And Minka, if he's starting, somebody's left out. Somebody's left out, guys. So that linebacker position, there's a lot to be answered. There's a lot. And that's why they have Minka going everywhere. He's playing all these positions. Let me say this. Let me back up for a second. I see what they're doing. It's coming to my head right now. Here's what they're doing with Minka Fitzpatrick. They are saying Minka will be on the field at all times. That's what they're kind of saying, okay? So if Minka's on the field, here's what's going to happen. Everybody's playing, they're getting tired, okay? If the right cornerback is tired and he needs to come out of the game, Minka's going in that spot, then all 3 of your linebackers are in the game. If the left cornerback, same thing. Minka's going in, all 3 linebackers are playing in the game. Okay? If Rashad Jones comes out or TJ McDonald, he's basically filling their role. Okay? Now, if a linebacker comes out of the game, then Minka's going to the nickel. That's just all they're going to be doing. I think Minka is the replacement for everybody. And I guess that's how it's going to have to be. So is he technically starting? I don't know. I think he's just going to be coming in sparing everybody. Is he technically a starter? I don't know, but he's going to get majority of the snaps. He's going to get about 70% of the snaps probably. So that just means he's sparing people every play. Okay, you need to go out? Well, I'm in your spot. Okay, now you out and you back in. Well, I'm in your spot. I think that's what's going to happen, guys. Because the linebackers need to be linebackers. Raekwon needs to be at middle. Jerome needs to be strong. Kiko needs to be weak. Okay? And right now, they said Xavier Howard is going to be playing that right cornerback. Hey, Bobby McCain is going to be that left cornerback. Rashad Jones, they're pretty set on him being the strong safety. And TJ McDonald, they're set on him being the free safety. So Mika is the spare guy. A first-round pick that's going to get a lot of plays. But he's that guy that's sparing people. I know you just played 4 plays, but go get you some rest. I got you. I know you just played 5. Go get your rest. I got you. Why the person that he gave rest the first time came back in. He's just going to be rotating, and that's how they're going to keep him on the field. I guess that's why they've been playing him at outside corner. That's why they've been playing him at nickel. That's why they've been playing him at linebacker. That's why they've been playing him at safety. He's just going to be sparing people. He's going to get his reps. He's still going to get 70, 80% of the plays that way. Then he's going to come out and get some reps, and all of them is still going to be in. So I see what's going to happen now. I was going to talk about it because it concerned me, but now it's coming to my head of what they're doing. But that's beautiful because that means you got so much talent on the field and you got a replacement talent where that position doesn't have to fall off because he is multifaceted, guys. All right? He is multifaceted. And a lot of people, Minka needs to be at the safety. Minka needs to be at the safety like he was in Alabama. No, 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 no. Truth be told, Minka actually made it clear that his primary position in Alabama was the nickel. It wasn't even safety. He played the nickel majority of his snaps at Alabama. I didn't even know that until I heard him say it. Reporter was asking him, and he said, well, actually, majority of my snaps were at the nickel. And I guess the nickel sometimes can look like safety, especially if you send a receiver in motion and he backs up or whatever play that whatever defensive setting they're in. It may look like the safety sometimes because he's free. A lot of times the nickel is free, especially if they in one formation and they change it. So I think that's just beautiful, guys. Our defense is going to be the highlight this year. I know our offense has improved, believe it or not. But our defense is going to get us some points, man. I'm excited about the team overall. In regards to special team, when it comes to punter, we already know our punter is Matt Hack. That's just a given. He's going to be the punter for the team, okay? The kicker situation, I always tell y'all, listen, I don't care about the kicker situation until we know who's going to be the kicker. I do not care about the kicker situation until we know who's going to be the kicker. Y'all keep asking me who's going to be it. Man, every time I think it's going to be somebody, they always select another one, okay? But if I was to say right now, I think Jason Sanders is going to be our kicker, okay? Let me see on the depth chart where he is. Okay, yeah, they got Jason. Yeah, they got him number 1 and Greg Joseph number 2. But I think they're going to go ahead and go with Jason Sanders as the kicker this year. And, of course, our kick returner and punt returner is Jakeem Grant because he's low on that depth chart at receiver. But we know the talent he has, but that's his opportunity right there, guys. But that's the breakdown of the Miami Dolphins. That's what we do know, okay? That's what we do know. All right, all these speculation about what we don't know, or we don't know this, we don't know that. This is what we do know. And based off of what we do know, Dolphin Nation, you should be excited. You should be happy, okay? I'm excited, guys. I know a lot of people criticize this, that, and the other. Guys, study the team. If you study this team, you should be excited right now. Big things to come, guys. I'm not a fan of preseason game 4. It always sucks to me. None of the starters played, barely even the second string playing. And they probably won't. It's pretty much third and fourth guys that's trying to make this team. And the way our roster is set up, I don't know if any are. Because our first and second string, it's kind of like we've solidified positions because we got so much depth and good depth. It's like out of the people who play on Thursday night, 4 or 5 people are going to make the team. We know one of the quarterbacks, of course, but that's second string. And the only reason they're playing is because we don't have more, okay? And more quarterbacks in. And plus, we don't know which one it's going to be. But it's like 5 people that's going to be on that field on Thursday that's going to play. that's going to make the 53-man roster. I think the Dolphins are pretty set in knowing who they're going to have on the roster, but 5 people have an opportunity to say, I do too. Okay? That's probably going to come at 1 wide receiver, 1 running back. That's probably going to be, of course, we know the quarterback. None of the defensive line. The people that's going to be playing on defensive line, I don't see how any of them are going to play. I don't think any of them are going to make the team, because the ones that's not going to play, because I know they're going to bench the second string as well. You'd be a fool to even play them. Okay? None of the defensive line guys. Maybe a safety. Cornerback, we know they probably take 2 guys that's going to be playing. Okay? But it's not going to be many. I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, I'm going to be on my live stream again on my wife's channel since they shut mine down for showing y'all the game. But check me out on Thursday. But we'll see where we are, guys. We'll see who makes it out of Thursday, but I know those cuts are coming almost the next day after, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be interesting. But this is what we do know about the Miami Dolphins. Y'all should be excited about it. This is TD Fins Talk. Just wanted to give y'all an in-depth analysis of where the team is right now and where our mindset is in our plans and our players on the depth chart, how they're looking, guys. That's where we are. I bleed Dolphin blood. This is TD Fins Talk. I am out. All my fantasy lovers, I'll be getting with you soon about the video because we do have a draft coming up this weekend. All right, guys. Once again, it's TD Fins Talk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am out. Peace.